Hello, so glad you're here. This is Mary, and I am showing you the Italian herb bread by Pampered Chef that I'm making today. And I added the 1 cup of warm water to the ingredients in the Pampered Chef Italian herb bread mix, and that's what it looked like once I stirred it together. Now we're going to let it rise for 2 hours, and I'm going to cover it and let it sit here and rise, and then I will be baking that off. And this is the apple spice bread, beer bread. That was a new product came out last month's catalog, and I've stirred that together with a can of 7-Up. You can use beer or any soda, and I have my pan all ready to go, greased and floured, and that will bake at 350 for 45 minutes or so. I'll check it with my my cake checking needle and make sure it's all done, and then I will show you what the outcome is when I come back. Okay, here is the results of the apple spice beer bread after baking for 45 minutes. And all you need to do is add the 7-Up to the mix until it's smooth, and then you can add chopped apples to this one if you'd like. I did not add the apples, but this is what it looks like out of the oven. And I'll be back to show you the Italian herb bread. Okay, and the apple spice beer bread is all cooled off. So I banged it out of the bread pan, and this is what it looks like. Looks pretty yummy. I've heard from other people it's very good. Okay, I'll be back shortly with the Italian herb bread. Okay, so it's been 2 hours that the dough has been sitting, rising in the bowl, and this is the spice Italian herb bread. And this one you have to let it rise for 2 hours in the bowl, and then you place it on your board that you're going to be kneading that. I'm going to knead it, and then I'm going to put it back over on this stone and cover it for another hour with the cloth, and then it will rise again, and then we'll be able to bake it. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how I was kneading it. I folded it ends over, and then I folded it again like this. Then I take the ends and work it down a little bit, folding it together. And then if you use the heel of your hand when you knead it, it helps bring it together. And then I'm going to make this into a round loaf, like you would a French roll, or my dad used to make a bread called squaw bread, which was a very heavy wheat bread, but it had a sweetness to it, so it was really good. And he made those into a round loaf, and all of his French bread, who was round, was called sheep herder bread. So we're going to let that go onto the stone, and then I will cover it. Okay, I'm back, and this is the Italian herb bread. It has been sitting for an hour now, covered on the stone. It hasn't rose very much, but it's enough, I guess. And then it said to put a couple shallow cuts on the top of the bread. So I used this tomato knife that I got with my stone and the pizza cutter, and it worked pretty well because it's serrated and it's sharp and it cut through just a little on the top. And now it's going to go in the oven at 450. It cooks at a high heat for 15 to 20 minutes. So I'll be back to show you the results of that. Okay, I'm back, and this is the Italian herb bread, all baked from Pampered Chef pantry mixes, and it looks really beautiful, doesn't it? It came out really well. I haven't cut into it yet, so we'll see. It looks very crunchy crust, almost like a French bread. And then I'm also working on doing a sourdough bread with my sourdough starter. I think I posted a picture with the starter in the jar that I feed every day to keep going, and I wish I would do this more often. The sourdough one takes longer, so this is my dough right now. I'm waiting for it to just settle, and then I will knead it more, and then it will rest for a couple 3 hours or more until it rises up double on the sourdough. So that's that one. And let me take you over here for a minute. Okay, these are my pumpkin squares that I made a week or two ago. Froze them in the freezer, and now I'm making a cream cheese icing to go over the top. I'm gonna add the powdered sugar here in a minute and whip it all up, and then put it on top of the pumpkin squares. Usually you can't ice them and freeze them. They kind of get icky. So I make the icing after I've frozen them and taken them out and I'm gonna actually eat them. This is one that, unless you just leave them plain, it's kind of hard to serve to people on cookie trays and things, because the icing is soft and the pumpkin squares are kind of soft also. So that's the next thing I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm back with the pumpkin squares and the cream cheese frosting that I made, and I was just gonna show you that I put the cream cheese in a tube bag, decorating bag, and then I'm just gonna do a little around the corner and then to the middle. And you could do this any way you want. If you want to be fancy about it, you could do it with the tube. If it's a full pumpkin cake, because you can make this recipe into just a cake, you would ice the top and sides, but probably with this spatula, decorating spatula. But if you're just doing the squares, this is probably plenty of cream cheese icing on top. It's going to be pretty rich. So however you like to make it look, this is pretty easy. You notice I'm not doing every one perfectly the same, but that's okay, because I'm just doing it for us to eat. So if I was going to do it for an event or something, I would probably be more picky about it, but basically I think having this on here makes it look pretty, no matter which way you put it on. I just kind of playing with it to see what it looks like to go like that, zigzag, or you could go across diagonal, and then you could even put a little swirl on top. You can go all the way around like I was doing and swirl it at the top. So there's lots of ways to decorate things with icing. So if you have a bag, or you can practice doing it, you can make your own cakes and desserts. So for your meal planning, this dessert would have been already made in the freezer, and then you just whip up your icing, which was pretty easy to do, and then put it right on your squares. And the recipe for the cream cheese was pretty easy. It was only I had an 8-ounce cream cheese and a half a cup of butter and 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and then 4 cups of powdered sugar you add in until it's creamy and at the consistency you want. So there we go. And if you were wanting to be really fancy, you could put sprinkles or something on top of that, like the, let me see, this spice that's Pampered Chef spice, the cinnamon plus. That's one you could, it's a blend, so you could use that in the pumpkin square recipe, or pumpkin pie, or apple pie. So you could actually sprinkle some of this on top and it would go with the rest of it. I would just put a little, if I can get it to do that, and then that just gives it another little decoration, makes it look fancier. Just put a little sprinkle on top of that. And Pampered Chef has lots of these spices. I only have purchased a few now, so there's lots more to get. And you can see those in the catalog on when you go to order. And that's that. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed watching the different things that you can do with bread. The sourdough will probably not be ready today, so I will maybe come back and show it to you or post some pictures. You haven't seen me today because I'm baking in unconventional clothing. I don't love aprons. I know that's crazy. People that bake and cook love aprons. I grew up in a bakery where I had to wear an apron every day, and I hate them. I mean, I don't hate them. I just prefer never to wear them again. It's one of those childhood weirdness things. So anyways, so I will come on and post this video. Will be getting posted, and then I will be posting some other things for you tonight. And then tomorrow, I hope to come back on live and meet with you face to face. Okay, have a great evening, day, or morning whenever you watch this video.